Hello, friends. Mali Ponpalit here. I am the CEO of the SOAR Community Network and co-founder of the SOAR Community Nebula. We are bringing to you 1,000 champions of change or community builders, and today I am delighted to bring to you Ms. Stephanie Courtney. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you for inviting me.
I so appreciate you for being here. Can you please reintroduce yourself to our community now and let us know what you're currently working on in the world?
Okay. My name is Stephanie Courtney, and I'm currently an energy worker, a sound healer. I call them vibrational therapies because everything is vibration. So what I professionally bring to the world right now are energy sessions, different types of vibrational healings. I specialize in people who have dense emotions and repeating mental thoughts, who are going through great periods of change in their life, and they're trying to make sense of what's changing and why it's changing, and how to cope with it, how to readjust and find their footing again. So I deal with people who are also just becoming aware of their spiritual nature and how their vibration in particular makes a difference in how their life unfolds before them. So I work with Rise Wellbeing Center as one of the communities that I support, and I do community service there. I do sound for yin yoga classes there and also teach workshops. I do Zoom workshops, and I also do sessions and coaching. So those are my professional offerings right now.
That's great. And for those that are new to energy modalities, energy healing, vibrational, all this language is new for them. Pragmatically, like physically, what do the programs look and feel like? Because I'm sure people who are listening to this, if they're new to this world, are looking and thinking, what does she mean? What do they actually do? What is energy healing? Okay. Would you like to share some thoughts on that?
Sure. Well, we're all a combination of the elements. So we are light and sound. We are vibration. So things like our thoughts, that's a vibration. Our voice is a vibration. Our emotions carry a feeling. So to put it in really simple terms, you know how sometimes you can walk in a room and if somebody's in a bad mood, you instantly know it because you pick up on their energy. You know, either they're sad or if somebody's really happy, you know that. And the way you know that is because the human body doesn't just start here. Okay, it's not just the solid physical body. It is a layered being. We are layers. We are energy layers, and we react to each other and interact with each other based on our type that we are. So we are a lot more information than we realize. So what energy work is being able to be aware of where certain thoughts and emotions are held in the body. Everything starts outside the body as a core cause. And then if we're not able to clear it, then it lodges in the body. It could be tightness in a muscle. It could be a stuck place in the spine. It could be a toothache. It could be, I know this sounds weird, but we are there's mirrors of what's happening with us in other ways where the core cause exists within different parts of the body. So I help people learn about their bodies and make sense of what the body is teaching us. If there's pain is a teacher, but our first inclination has been to shut it down by, medicating it or cutting it off or stitching it up or something like that. But it's trying to tell us something about our wellness. So when I talk about wellness, I talk about being in vibrational alignment or in harmony, like all the body parts working in harmony with each other. And in that state, we are well in all ways.
That's great. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. That was really powerful. All right. So the next question that I have for you is having you share either an experience or two, or perhaps highlighting people that have really helped to shift you in a profound way, have given you some extra love and empathy and support to cultivate this person, this soul that you are today.
My husband and I had a profound experience in 2004. We had just moved from the Midwest had never experienced any kind of a hurricane before. We had done tornadoes, but not a hurricane. And two people that we barely knew, well, we knew them, but we weren't like close friends with them or anything, had invited us when Isabel was moving into the state of Maryland. We lived right on the bay, the Chesapeake Bay. They asked me if I had ever been through a storm like this before, and I told them no. And they said, well, it's gonna, your yard's gonna get pretty messy. Why don't you come over for dinner? They said, bring your dogs, because the winds are gonna be high and we don't want the dogs to be afraid. So just, come prepared to stay the night if that's necessary. And we'll take you back home in the morning and help you clean up the yard. And that night at 11:30 on television, our yard was on CNN. And the weatherman was standing in our yard, in our driveway, in hip waders, and the water was up past his knees, and he was talking about the storm surge moving in even more. So in that moment, I didn't believe it was real. But the next day, we went back down to the house. The night was really pretty fearful. We went back down to the house, and the only approach to the house was by canoe. The water had exceeded to the point, the water had risen to the point at where it was 12 inches below the top of the garage door. And we didn't have any place to live. And my husband was a very successful corporate worker. I was a business owner, a successful business owner. We had done everything right. We paid all of our flood insurance, and suddenly we were homeless. And these two people just said, don't worry about a thing. Just stay with us. We'll help you get through this. And that act of kindness it was surreal. Every day I kept waking up thinking, oh, surely they're going to ask us to leave. Who invites strangers with their pets to live with them? And EPA shut us out of our home for 8 weeks because the propane lines had broken away. We had to have a new well dug. We were just completely shut out. The house was molded. We had to have mold and mildew mitigation done. This couple would take no money. No money. Our insurance company told us that it was a shame our house didn't burn down because then we could open a claim. FEMA did not allow us to file a claim because we were not grandfathered into the property. So they gave the funds to the people that didn't have any money, even though we had paid $1,500 extra every month for our insurance. And this couple never said, you're an imposition. Never. They completely changed my faith in human beings as truly, genuinely nice people. And they taught me what hospitality is and what kindness truly was. I got through that period of time, but every morning I just woke up and I don't think I ever understood what the feeling of gratitude in your heart was until this particular experience. They changed me completely just by their kindness. And it's such a powerful thing. They never, it was like they wouldn't take money. They wouldn't take anything from us. They just wanted us to get through it emotionally because they could see what a huge, burden it was. So their names were Mark and Winnie Gebhardt. I have to thank them every day of my life. They help me in more ways than they know because they've taught me kindness. And that's something that I can truly, honestly share from my heart with other people now.
So beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being so open and so kind and so vulnerable. It makes a difference when we share. So the next question that I have, going back to all these kind souls that do exist in our world, when you think of champions of change, community builders, conscious beings, what are some of the characteristics that you would love to highlight and honor? What are consistent in your witnessing?
Well, they're usually sleepers, and like people that you don't. They're people that you never realize how strong and tenacious they are. By and large, they're not like rolling out the bandwagon saying what they are. They're quiet, but they are very strong in that they know the difference between power and force, and they're in their power. They're passionate about something, and their knowledge base is life. So they're focused on sharing their experience and their wisdom from a place of integrity. They're discerning, but they don't pass judgment. They can see beyond the facade, that outward exterior. And they are objective in the way they make their decisions. They wait until they have everything, even when they have all the facts. Like some of these change leaders that have really impressed me, you know how today it's very popular to have like a Facebook profile and be able to fill out an application perfectly. But these change makers are ones who want to meet with the person. Like they want to know, they want to be in the vibration of whatever they're touching to make sure that the signature, the energy signature or the spiritual signature is there before they make any kind of a discerning choice. So I really, really admire these kinds of change makers. And I do know some. I know a lot, actually. The ones that impressed me the most have been ones that I learned about in both the energy communities and the dance community. The dance community is this enigma. It's a pot of soup, and people come here to heal. You know, they come with all of their stuff on the floor. You know, they're broken, they're dysfunctional, but it's a place where they come to shake it all out and not explain anything to anyone. And these people, they see, like we see ourselves in each other, and just kind of fill in the gaps with a smile or a touch or it's something that's so organic. It doesn't require a lot of language, but people come to know your circumstances, and then you just get help without a bunch of fanfare. Mm-hmm. So those are the changers. Those are, like, to me, these individuals, and they come from all walks of life, all ages, all backgrounds. They have one thing in common. They're trying to heal.
Beautiful. Well, you touched upon some of the areas in your life for the next question, which is, how are you community building? How are you being a change agent? How are you utilizing your gifts, your talents, your life experiences to advance causes or movements forward? So are there any organizations you'd like to highlight, or just initiatives you'd like to share with us?
Yes, there is. There in each one of those areas. I'm currently on the team at Rise Wellbeing in Reston, Virginia. And this is the women. There's two women. The founder is Lisa. She's going to strangle me. I can't remember the last name. Lisa and her associate Marcia. And they both are these amazing, open-minded, open-hearted, very conscious beings, and they bring in all kinds of healing modalities, talks, workshops. There's yoga, like they do movement, they do consciousness. So I want to make sure that they're mentioned here, because this facility is such a great agent for change in the community. And the second one is a group that I belong to that advocates conscious change in the dance community, away from so much convention, and so that it feels like a safe place for everyone who wants to come and do partner dancing there and choose their role as a lead or a follow. So they seem like minor things, but they're healing in themselves. And the thing that I admire about both of these groups is that they expand consciousness in ways that are not predictable. So you have to come and experience it and just see what you take away from it to really appreciate what's there. And the third thing is I give talks. I do workshops. I'm available as a guest speaker for different wellness centers in the area. Okay. I love to host groups and meet with groups to just touch on whatever people want to talk about, and just listen and just be present with people and allow for whatever it is that they need to express or move to get another viewpoint on things. And I do energy sessions and sound sessions. So yes, those are the ways that I give back to the community. And I also have an initiative of my own. I have in the works an institute to learn how to be in our self-mastery called Sovereign Mastery Institute. And this is a body of work that involves all kinds of ways to learn more about ourselves and how we can live life with intention and move into a life that we create instead of the life that we ended up with. Mm-hmm. So that is something that's in the works. It is a benefits corporation that, with the mission of working with other initiatives in the community or connecting to other groups in the community who also want to expand the consciousness of the community as a whole. And something that's really dear to my heart is sustainable reciprocity. Like there's so much focus on money as an exchange, and I have come into the awareness that we have so many gifts and talents that we can exchange with each other that are of much greater value than always measuring a thing by just the money. So I feel like this completely opens the playing field for people who have gifts that are useful and exchangeable in terms of value to come and be part of this effort. So that's something I'm exploring as part of my initiative in Sovereign Mastery Institute.
That's wonderful. Sounds exciting. Sounds very exciting. Congratulations for going through that process of being a benefits corporation as well. It is an intense process. It is an intense process. Okay, so as we've gone through life and you shared so beautifully and so vulnerably your experience with losing your home and then all the other things that have come out of that or from that experience, when things have been difficult and challenging, how do you come back to center? How do you ground yourself? Is there a mantra, a motto, a quote that, or scripture even, that you'd like to share?
Yes, actually. And I came upon this mantra when we were living with Mark and Winnie. It's that you don't know what you don't know until you know you didn't know. And the way this came to me was, I thought about all the times that I'd look at people and their circumstances and judge their life circumstance by some, surely they must have put themselves in the circumstance. And if you got in it, you can get out of it. And that's so ridiculous. Like now that I understand life a little more, my grandmother used to say, if you live long enough, you'll understand everything. But in this particular instance, I just realized how many people looked at us during that period of time and thought, they're homeless. There must be something wrong. They must have, done something wrong. So this was just a wake-up call to me to look inward and not look out, not judge, not think that we know everything, because we don't, and we don't need to. The first place I go now is a place of compassion and say, okay, well, something's happened here. But before I jump to a conclusion that I know what it is, I know I don't know what I don't know until I know I didn't know.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Well, the next question that I have for you comes down to just your vantage point and your view of the world. What would a better world look like through your eyes?
Oh, I guess I'm a little Pollyanna here. Because it would be kinder, it would be nicer. People would be responsible for their actions. It would not be polluted. It would be peaceful and safe. It would be, we would do what we love to do every day. And we would be each other's advocates instead of enemies. And we'd work in cooperation instead of competition. There's
beautiful.
So many other things, but those are the big ones. Those are the top.
Yes. Well, you and I are very much aligned with what a better world would look like. So, Pollyanna or not, that's what it is. Last question: how can our community support you right now, and what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Okay, I do have a website. It's synergyandflow.com. That's SCenergyandflow.com. And a Gmail address. That's an email you can send things to. Also, a Facebook page, which is also Synergy and Flow. And how can you support me right now? I am available for workshops, for public speaking engagements, for sessions, and for sound baths. So
wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you just so beautifully sharing. That means a lot to me, and that means a lot to our community to know that they're not alone also in our journey, in our challenges, in our awakenings.
Yeah.
Much
Thank
appreciated.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for inviting me.
much for your time.
Yeah, thank
For
you.
those that are watching, please remember to nominate yourself or someone in your community who is making a huge impact in your life and in the lives of others. Please visit us at nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. We so look forward to getting to know you. And please let us know your thoughts on our podcast. Let us know how you're feeling about our interviews and really connect with our change agents that we're bringing to you. For now, take care, everybody.